And what we have for you is a P51 Mustang, a North American Bronco, and a B25 Mitchell. Look to your left, ladies and gentlemen, there you are. A fascinating formation, a great photo opportunity for you aficionados. On the left there, the P51D Mustang, Miss Helen, the wonderful B25 Mitchell, and the amazing Coin aircraft, as it's known, a very characteristic top-tail twin-engine turboprop, the Bronco. So here they come again now, ladies and gentlemen, with the P51 on the left coming towards you. One of the great iconic fighters of World War II, the P51, as we had the Spitfire and the Hurricane, so the Americans, of course, had the P51, this one with Packard Merlin. And of course the mighty B25 Mitchell with its wonderful throbbing radial engines. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, coming in the capable hands of Tony de Brint from Belgium, the OV10 Bronco. Two 715 shaft horsepower Garrett engines, 500 mile range, nearly 300 miles an hour, 24,000 feet it'll go to. Two-seat, interesting, very interesting layout. Two-seat tandem, offset cockpit, and you can see that cross tail at the back, how characteristic it is. Carries sidewinder missiles in wing pylons. Carry up to 500 pounds of bombs, and as you can now see, highly maneuverable and very, very quick. And you can see a really, really very maneuverable airplane with a very significant rate of roll. And here we are, nice dangle down run by Tony. Brolly's up. Don't worry about the drizzle, ladies and gentlemen, it'll pass through. It's the only tiny little bit on the northern corner of that band of weather, as I told you about. Essentially came out in a variety of different sets. The OV10A, the OV10D, OV10B. The 10D, which was the biggest one, in fact had 1,000 horsepower Garrett engines, which made it really quite quick, nearly 300 miles an hour, and a range of the best part of 1,300 miles. Here we are, high-speed run again with that smoke on. Big landing light on as well. All cleaned up, gear nice and tucked away. So there we are, wing rock, that's it from Tony. Great job, thank you very much. Thanks, folks. Yeah, please move back off the beach, lest you get wet tootsies. So there's the gear down, Dunlop's dangling. Thanks, Tony. Another wave, yeah. Good man, low and slow. Thank you so much. Well done, everyone, yeah. They can see you so clearly, and they do appreciate you waving and being involved, because it is your show. Without you here, without your participation, what would we be doing? We would be talking to ourselves and flying for ourselves. Yes, I can see the speeds building up, ladies and gentlemen. If you look in your 11 o'clock there, diving now, you must be coming upwards of about 300 miles an hour, turning in over the headland there. That has got to be the P51. He's got to be on next to do his reprise. Look to your left, keep your eyes peeled. John Dodds in Miss Helen. Well, the P51 was designed for the Brits. And that was in only 120 days. From initial drawings to be out and flying. That was extraordinary. And that was really to meet the requirement for more fighters, long-range fighters, high-speed fighters. First built with an Allison engine. They were remarkable at low altitude, but they were considered, unfortunately, as I say, therefore the lack of success initially, as being underpowered and disappointing at higher altitudes. So, in late 42, the P-51 was transformed in the UK when a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine was tested in place of the Allison. And the Merlin, as I say, as used in the Spitfire, was then licensed built by Packard in the USA. Packard built Merlin. This aircraft, Miss Helen, original, a genuine World War II fighter, built in 44 and delivered into service with the US Army. And there it is, the classic victory roll, so much frowned upon by station commanders. And the P-51, very characteristically, because of its speed, was used to escort the great bomber waves that went out over Germany, particularly the B-17s. So many of the P-51s sung that serenade to the big bird and escorted them out and back and kept them safe. John Dodds in the P-51D Mustang. Miss Helen. Thanks, John. Great job. Yep, he's wing down, he's looking at you. Wonderful. Well, don't forget we had 3 aircraft, ladies and gentlemen, in that big formation. So somewhere out there, there must be another. I'm sure you've spotted it. Over the headland there. Just turning in now as lights are on, the B-25, an American twin-engine medium bomber manufactured by North American Aviation and used by many of the Allied forces in every theater of World War II. Famous, of course, as many of you know, for the great Doolittle raids and the sound of those wonderful throbbing radial engines. 2 Wright 600 Cyclones, air-cooled radials, 1,700 horsepower each. Big aircraft, 20,000 pounds, that's the empty weight of the B-25. A crew of 6, 1 pilot, 1 co-pilot, a navigator, bombardier, a turret gunner, an engineer, radio operator, waist and tail gunner. But of course there's not all those people on the aircraft today. That doesn't go with display regulations. There is a pilot and a co-pilot, and that is it. Very maneuverable. It must be so tempting. I don't think they actually do it, and it would do it perfectly, but it must be so tempting to get to that 90 degrees angular bank and then just keep going on around and roll it. It would be wonderful to see. This aircraft named Serena. Very famous for its what was known as hit density, its ability to absorb punishment and still return flying. Built in 1944, and in just a few weeks' time, that wonderful aircraft you see there is going to be 72 years old. In 1990, it came to Europe, based in the Netherlands as part of the Duke of Brabant Air Force. And that was very appropriate because the Netherlands were the first country to which the B-25 was exported and remained in service there right into the 1950s. And now, of course, part of the Royal Netherlands Air Force historic flight. This is the first time at the Scottish International Airshow. And again, that delicious rumble as it drifts downwind. Quick as well, the cruise at 230 miles an hour with a range of 1,350 miles. And a working ceiling around 25,000 feet. An instantly recognizable machine, the sound of those wonderful rumbling, majestic radials, the twin fin and the rudder. And again, the gull wing appearance that it has. There we are, wing rock from the B25. Thank you very much indeed, our friends from Holland. A wonderful display from a wonderful, elegant old lady.